Hey YouTube, so I'm going to show you how to do this look. As a lot of my followers know, I have just switched over to a beautiful new brand called Indigo Nails. It's gorgeous, and I wanted to show you how I did this ombre fade. So I don't know if it's very clear on the screen, but the black, I'll show you the black, is actually a black with a beautiful pink shimmer through it. Isn't that stunning? And then the hot pink. So I'm using Indigo Cover Powder number 6. And this is like an 80% coverage, and it has the most beautiful, softest gold shimmer through it. It's gorgeous. This would be perfect on tanned skin. I'm using Indigo Fashion Clear to cap everything, and then of course I've got the pink that I've got on the ends, and then this black that I showed you a moment ago. I'm going to go in and use cleanser and also an acid primer. And if you're a really bad lifter, you can then add the acid-free primer on top of that. Those are fantastic products. And then Indigo Nail Liquid. So first thing I want to show you guys is this little new tool that I've got here. It's called what is it called? It is called, I think it was a skiver or a skiver, something along those lines. And basically this is to gently clean around your cuticle area to get rid of all of that overgrown skin and cuticle that you don't want on the nail bed. Obviously if there's anything like that on the nail bed, you will get lifting. So this is a fantastic tool. Now I'm sure a lot of you out there are freaking out going, oh my gosh, she's not actually going to use it on the nail bed. Yes I am. This is very, very gentle to use. You can rub it up and down your skin, and it doesn't even hurt, not even slightly. It's not going to do any damage at all. If you go digging it into the nail, obviously you're going to do some damage, but this is very, very gentle. I have this on a super low setting, and what I'm going to do is very gently work around the cuticle area and right into those side walls to remove any extra growth. And you can just see it flicking away there. It's fantastic. Now this is not in any way, shape or form thinning the nail bed too much, because I am being so gentle. Sorry, I think I went out of frame there a wee bit. I'm being so gentle whilst doing this. Okay, that's all that's needed. I'll turn my drill off there. I've also got my cleanser in a big bottle here, and I just like to use this on a lint-free wipe, clean the nail bed there, and hopefully you can see that the nail bed has started to dry out and go white. Okay, so that's our dehydrator. Next thing I'm going to put on is the acid primer, Indigo Acid Primer. Now this is so minimal. Watch, I'm going to bleed majority of the product off, and this only needs to be touched very gently onto the nail plate. You do not need to overkill the primer. You're only going to cause more problems. We leave that to dry. You'll notice it's dry when it starts to go chalky white. Once it's dry, you can then start applying your product. If you have got a client who is prone to lifting, you can then actually go ahead and double prime with using the acid-free primer. Now the acid-free primer leaves kind of like a sticky surface for the acrylic to adhere to, so it can be great for lifters. So I'm going to go ahead and put that on as well. This one you can be a little bit more liberal with. You don't have to worry too much about making that minimal. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and use my forms to sculpt. And a new technique that I've been learning is using a C-curve stick, these little things here. So I'm going to fit one to my finger, and we check how it fits by going like this to see that, you know, it's going to make a great shape. The other thing I'm going to use, this little thing here, is a piece of copper. Okay, and the copper is going to be used on the back of the form, and this is going to encourage strength. I know that sounds really weird, but it helps to keep the C-curve in shape, so you have a fantastic shape. Now keep in mind I have just primed that finger, so I don't want to A, muck around too long, and B, I don't want to touch anything. Okay, so I've got my copper on the back there, spin it over. Now I'm going to use the lines to line up, make sure everything's nice and straight. And I'm going to bend my little piece of copper on the back of my sticker over this little stick. Hopefully you guys can kind of see what I'm doing. Roll it just ever so gently. Make sure it doesn't all stick together. I'm going to peel that off. And as you can see, that copper has created a lovely round shape. Okay, I'm going to pinch that just a fraction more. Alright, I choose to open these up because I just find that for myself I can get them on a bit easier. Remember, you've primed your finger, so try not to touch anything. I'm going to slot that just under the free edge. Okay, when it feels nice and comfortable, we're going to gently start to secure and pinch down. So pinching underneath here to secure. Alright, we're going to fold these over the top to secure those in place. Alright, and then when we're happy with the shape and the position, we can then start to begin applying product. So first thing I'm going to do is apply my nail bed. Now I'm using Indigo cover number 6 with my nail liquid. I'm actually going to pop these out of the way so you guys can see what I'm doing. Alright, I'm going to grab quite a large bead and I'm going to place that bead towards the top of the nail, and I'm going to let that gently fall towards my free edge. And as you can see, when it's falling, it's actually creating its own smile line from kind of like an upside down tear. Working around that cuticle area first. Alright, and then I'm going to bring that smile line out and drag it out. It's really hard working on camera, trying to make this as good as I normally would, but also allowing you guys to see what I'm actually doing. So that's our smile line created. Alright, that was pretty simple, pretty easy. Now what I'm going to do next is bring in my indigo. Now sorry, this is number Black Collection 04, and this one here is Neon Pink Fruit. So I'm going to be using the 2 of these. Alright. Now this part gets a bit messy. Picking up quite a large bead of the black. Alright, I'm going to place this down onto my form, and you'll see it start to wobble. That's okay. I'm going to very gently start pushing that into my side walls and down into my smile line that we created. Push it all the way down and then gently flatten that product out. Okay, we don't want to brush the product because we'll just brush the product right off. So we just want to gently push and pull, push and pull. Right down there. See, no rush, we've still got a bit of time to play. Okay, and I'm gently pushing and pulling that product down. Alright. Next thing I'm going to do is pick up a very small bead of my hot pink, and I'm just going to be placing this on the free edge. Now remember, I'm not placing this product down for strength. This product is simply a design. My strength is going to be coming from the clear top coat. So try to keep this as thin as possible. And I'm just going to play with it and just kind of like blending your eyeshadow. You just play with it and push and pull and push and pull and blend it until it's got a nice ombre blend. It's pretty simple. And obviously you can do any colour. I actually did this, I had a black base that had a slight gold shimmer, and then I used a copper where the pink was. And that looked fantastic too. So as you can see, while the product's still wet, I'm just touching, touching, touching. Just touching, touching. And it's just starting to kind of blend and fade out. If you think you have too much pink, that's fine. Pick up a tiny bit of black again and come back over the top of it and re-blend it. You only have to pick up, and I'm talking the tiniest little beads. You can barely see that it's so little. Okay, blend, 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 blend. So we've got the shape that we want. Everything's sitting nice and pretty there. Now I'm going to actually go ahead and use my clear. And I'm going to pick up quite a large bead. Slightly on the wet side. I'm going to place that on the free edge. And I'm going to cap that entire design. So when I come to filing, that ombre is not going to be filed into. Alright, I'm just patting, patting, patting. Don't worry about what it looks like at this stage. Because obviously when we file it, it will all come down beautifully. Patting, patting, patting. See how I've not brushed anything off? I've just placed the bead on and I've patted all over. Alright, I'm just going to put one more bead just through the centre just to smooth it all out and just to encourage that stress area. Okay, it's looking nice and fat, but the only time I want anything to look fat. Alright, so you can see the shape that we're trying to achieve there. Alright, now you can see it's quite shiny, which means it's obviously wet. When this starts to dry, it goes dull, and when it's dull, that's when I know I want to start pinching it. So I'm going to be using this tool here, and it's a pinching tool. Alright, try and show you the whole length of it. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to place this on the end of the nail and let it go, and it actually pinches the nail so it actually gets more of a C-curve. Now the C-curve is this part here, this rounded area here. Alright, that's a C-curve, and I'm trying to make my C-curve a lot rounder for lots of reasons, strength more than anything. So I'm going to place this just here. Make sure your product's not too wet, otherwise it'll squash the acrylic. Alright, so as you can see it holds on, and that actually has a really firm grip. It's really pressing down hard and it's squeezing that acrylic together, because obviously you want the acrylic to squeeze together while it's still soft and pliable, because obviously when it's hard it's not going to move. So I'm going to leave this to pinch and dry for about 2 to 3 minutes and I'll be back. Okay, so we've let this sit for a couple of minutes. When I tap on it, you can hear it has a real plasticky tap. That's dry. So I'm going to take this off. Okay, just gently manipulate it underneath, squeeze together, and it will pull away quite easily. Okay, we've got a good C-curve there, nice and pinched and high, and I'm going to start drilling now. So I've swapped over to my safety drill bit here. I'm going to put this onto about medium speed, and I'm going to start drilling away. Right, so I've got my free edge shape nice and square. Come down the sides. Keeping your sides nice and parallel. Right. And now it's all over filing. Getting a nice flat top through the top, keeping that area quite flat, and then flat sides, and then you contour them all together. I'm then going to pick up, I'm using a Young Nails 240 buffer. I love this side buffer. Just going to work around that cuticle just to make sure that's nice and smooth. Nail brush, get rid of all your excess dust. Okay, cuticle wipe with my cleanser. Give it a good scrub. And this is when you'll start to see the design really coming through. It's gorgeous. It's beautiful when you put the top coat on, you really see those colours pop. See the dimensional side of things. A little bit on the free edge. Make sure you get right down the sides. Okay, into my LED light it goes. I hope you guys enjoyed. I think they're a beautiful set of nails. My little finishing touches there, I think those are pretty as well. But yeah, a lovely set of nails minus the nail dust. Thank you guys for watching again. Have a great week. Bye for now.